So here is what your Canva dashboard is going to look like once you've created your account. This is for the free version. As you can see here, it says try pro for 30 days. So there is a free trial. I highly recommend it, but it's not required. But you're going to see where you can create different file types, documents, presentations, stuff like that. But usually you're going to be creating a custom file. But I'm going to go down to my recents for the sake of this tutorial. And the first thing that we're going to go through is the move tool. So to move any of these layers, you just click on it, and then you're going to click and drag it to where you want it to be. You can snap it into position. With Canva, it is smart, so it's going to snap directly to the edges or the center line. You can also snap it to the top, to the bottom. I'm going to hit undo, which is this back arrow. And you can also align it into place. This small short menu that shows up, click on the three dots for more. You can go to align to page, and you can align it to the left, center, right, top, middle, bottom. So let's say we want to be in the center and at the middle. So I'm going to click on center, click on more again, align to page, and then middle. So you'll see how that aligns. So you can do left, right, top, bottom, center, middle. Then we're going to move on to this larger menu across the top and click on edit. And here you can adjust colors by clicking on this adjust button. You select the whole image or the foreground and background, depending on what you're working on. Here are some settings that you can change. The white balance, which is temperature and tint, light, brightness, contrast, highlight, shadows, whites, blacks. I'll show you that. And you can also change by color. So if you just want one color to change, you can click on that color, and then you'll get this extra menu for hue, saturation, and brightness. So you can change the color of just that burgundy. You can also play around with the texture, which is the sharpness, the clarity, and the vignette. So you can just play around with those as well. But I'm just going to reset these because I don't want those to be the settings. Go back. Another way to edit is using the Magic Studio, which has background remover, magic eraser, magic grab, magic edit, magic expand. But you do have to have the pro version in order to do those. And if you try to do it on the free version, you'll get this pop-up, and it's going to ask you to sign up for the free trial. But since we don't have a background to remove on this particular design, I'm not going to go through any of those. You can also change the filters here. So that's another way to change the colors. And you can play around with the shadows and the blur effects. And here are some different apps that you can use for more advanced designing. Close out of there. I already said that the background remover is a pro feature. You can tell by the crown. But you can go here and change the color. Click on it. Change it to a color. It's going to fill this complete space with that color. And this is a frame, so that's why it's a square like that, or a rectangle. So if I close out of this and hit delete, you can see this is where I dropped that bulldog face into the frame. And I'm going to remove this one as well. So frames are ways that you can add images or textures to a certain shape in order to complete your design. So this half had half of the face without a background, and this frame had the other half of the face, but it had that burgundy background behind it, dragged into both of these frames. So creating custom frames like this They Not Like Us text is an advanced training that we're not going to cover in this overview, but just know that it's possible and that you can use frames. And then in a couple of seconds, I'm going to show you how to get the standard frames. So we're going to continue with this menu. You can create a border, solid line or dashed. And then you can increase and decrease. And again, because this is in a frame, this is what's going to be modified instead of the outline of this image. Okay, so do understand that it is going to apply to the frame. You can change the color by clicking in that window that pops, or that icon that pops up to the left, and make that a different color. You can also round the corners. You can see it's starting to round that border, but I don't want that border to be in the shape of my frame, so I'm just going to undo. Here, you can also crop layers. So it looks like two right angles making a square. So just drag the part that you want to crop out. And it will crop for you. And that is going to work on your image layers. You can also flip, so you can do horizontal or vertical. You can also increase or decrease the transparency by clicking on those checker boxes that look faded. And then you can also go into position. We're not going to animate because we're focused on printed products. So when we click on position, this is going to be the settings for the selected layer. So this half face that's selected, here's where you can align it again, move it forward, backward. So since we already know how to do the alignment part, let's go in and scale. So let's say we wanted this to be 1000. You see how it changed? It cropped it down. It scaled it down. Then it scaled it down to that height. Or you can lock the aspect ratio. Hit this lock. And once you change one of the dimensions, the other one's going to change by default. So now this changes the whole layer proportionately and keeps the whole layer, but just makes it bigger or smaller. You can change the position based on the X or Y axis. So the X axis is going to move it to the right or to the left. The Y axis is going to move it up or down. And then you can rotate by typing in a degree of rotation. So you can do it that way. Or you can also rotate by clicking on this little curved icon. So it's going to show up, it's like a purplish color. It's going to show up beside the active layer, and you can rotate it that way. Drag and release. So that's all the options across the top. And then additionally, you can scale down your layers by clicking and dragging it to another position instead of typing in those numbers. So this way is a lot faster. So just drag one of those corners into place and get to the size that you want it to be. Now, if we go to the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see where it says design, elements, text, brand, uploads, and draw. There's also projects and apps. You can use those options as well. So we're going to go to design. And this is where you can use templates. This is already a template, so you don't need to do anything here, but this is just where you can find them. Go through the different categories and see what they have to offer. And make sure if you want to choose one, though, if you're designing in the future, that you choose one that is a free version if you do not have the paid version. Next is elements. This is where we can go and grab that frame that I was talking about that you can add. So if you click on frame, you'll see all the different options that you can make with frames. So you see it's not just rectangles, squares, and circles. So that's how you get that image to where you can drag it in, where I showed you before. Then there's also arrows that you can add. So you can see different arrows. Go back, lines, circles. At this time of this video, they have their Christmas theme in squares, logos, boxes, hearts, stars, tables, rectangles, borders, shapes, shadow, stars, paper, flower, flowers, other shape. You just keep going and you'll see a lot of different options. But let's say we want to go to shapes. You click on it, it's going to give you one of the colors that's already in your design. So you can go to edit. You can go in here and change the shape if you want to whatever shape you want it to be. You can change the color. And if you want to do a gradient, you can scroll down and select the gradient color that you want. You can also add a border here, increase, decrease. You change the border color. You can also make the border color a gradient. And additionally, if you have a certain color that you want to use that's not already in your little palette from your photo colors, or not one of your default colors, you can just type in the name of the color, or if you know the 6-digit HTML notation, you can put that number in as well. And then it's going to select the color that you want it to be. So I have my border selected, so it changed the border to that color. Also here in Elements, you can grab different graphics and create your own. Again, make sure that you grab the free ones, unless you want to pay for the pro version. So you can see how you can add graphics here as well. So let's say you want to duplicate this graphic for this layer. In this small menu that pops up, just going to click on duplicate. You see it's duplicated here. Or you can also delete these layers. So in the small menu that pops up, hit delete, click on the layer, hit delete, click on the layer, hit delete. I got rid of all those that I just added. So now we can go over here to our text tool. So here you can search the fonts that are available on Canva, or you can enter your text box where you're going to add your text. You can also add your own brand fonts. So any font that you want to use that's not available on Canva, you can add it here, but you do have to have the pro version. And you can see the different presets here and the different combinations just to get an idea of what fonts look good together. But you can just click on add text box, and then it's going to pop up a box in the screen. And this is where you're going to type in your text and modify your text. But I'm actually going to close out of this layer because I have a text layer down here. If I just scroll down, you'll see I have a text layer that says Sykeston Bulldogs. I'm going to click on that. The menu that pops up, you can see that this font is Impact. You can increase or decrease the size or type in a number. Or again, you can drag the corners here as well to scale it. Here is the text color. So I did 2 separate colors. So I just clicked on the word and highlighted the word that I wanted to change the color of. Then change the color up here to that color. And again, you can see the different colors that are available to you. Or you can type in the color that you need. And some fonts will allow you to bold the text or italicize it. It's not available with this particular font, but you can align it to the center, to the middle, or wherever on this actual layer. But it's, as you can see, it's fit very snug in the boundaries, so there's nowhere to align it to. You can make this a list. You can increase or decrease line spacing if you had a line break. You hit enter in between here, you can increase or decrease the spacing. You can also increase or decrease the transparency here as well for the text layer. Go to effects. You can add shadow, different features here, outline. So if you want to add these different features, you can do that as well. Change the color, thickness. It just depends on how you want it to look. I'm gonna click on add new color. Use my eyedropper tool. And I'm gonna click on the color that I want it to be. And it's gonna fill it in with that space. If you go to the more option, you can see that you can underline the text or do a strike through. And you can also uppercase the letters. You go to position. I did forget to mention this before when I was here. Remember how we can align it to the page, rotate and scale. You can also go to layers from this tab and you can move these layers up and down into position. Right now, I don't have too many layers, but if you needed something that's going to be more in the foreground, you would just move that layer higher up your layers list. All right, over here to brand. So this is where I was saying if you go pro, you can add logos, colors, fonts, photos, other graphics and icons. You do need to be pro. And right now I only use it for adding fonts. Add your brand fonts. Click on this plus sign. Upload a font. Then you're gonna find the font that you want to upload. Make sure that it's a font file. Then we can go to uploads. So this is if you want to add images that are already on your device. You're just gonna go to upload files. And then you're going to select the file that you want to add. It's going to upload, and then it's going to show up here underneath your images. And then you just click on the image that you uploaded, and it's going to be in your design canvas. So you can do all of the other things that I mentioned beforehand, scale it, crop it, move it to the back, transparency, whatever you want to do. I'm just going to undo though. And then also on the left-hand side is this draw feature. So if you need to draw, you can change the pen type to pen, marker, highlighter, eraser. Choose the one you want. Change your color. Now, this may not be something you use all the time, but you can also change the width and the transparency of it, and then just mark up as you see fit. So that's how that works. Now, if you need to erase, the only thing that you can erase is what you drew with the marker. Then next over here is just your projects. So this is just going to show you what all you've been working on. There's a quick way to get back to some things. And then apps, if you decide that you're going to use apps. I don't really use too many because I would just prefer to either use the Magic Editor or just use my GIMP software. So now I'm going to show you how to group layers. So let's say we wanted all of these layers to move together that are separately. Next, I'm going to show you how to group your layers if you need them to move all together instead of separately, like so. Just click outside of the canvas and drag across the layers that you want to group. Let's say we just want the face and then I like us to be grouped. Click on that. Now they are together. So if you drag and move it, you see these move together. You can also scale the size together. And you can rotate together by clicking this rotate icon that's down by itself. So you can change rotate the whole thing together. And you can also lock these layers so that they cannot be edited any further. So just click on the layer, and in the small menu that pops up, you're going to see a lock. If it says lock, click on that to lock it. So that's going to lock the position and anything else. So I'm trying to move it, it is not moving. And this one is locked as well. Now, if you want to unlock, just click on it again, hover over it to where you see that lock again, and where it says unlock, and then you can unlock it and make modifications. But once it's locked, there is no more changes. You can zoom out or zoom in down here at the bottom right corner. You can use this bar to go in and out. You can click on the number and select the size. I like to do fit. Once I click, I'll see the entire design. And then we want to go up here to File. One of the last things you got to do, you can go in here and change the name of the file. Clicking it here, changing the name, hitting Enter. Go to Settings, and you can set up your rulers and guides. So click on Show. That's going to add a ruler across the top and down the left-hand side of the screen. But I like to just drag from this ruler until I get to the center, and it'll change color and snap into place. Or you can click and drag it to whatever position you want it to be. So if you have a design that needs to be centered or aligned a certain type of way outside of just centering and moving to the edges, that's how you're going to create your guideline. And also here is resizing the file. So you can change it to different options. Usually you're going to go in and go to custom size, and then you can change it here as well. But it's usually not going to let you change your size until you have your trial or your paid pro account. So now that's all that's left is to download your images so that you can get ready for prints. So you're going to go to Share, Download, and to print on a hoodie, a t-shirt, or a tote bag or whatever, you are going to need a transparent background. However, as you can see here, it is a pro feature, so you cannot download transparent background. It's still downloaded as a PNG, which is the file type that allows for a transparent background, but it's still going to give you this white behind. So you're going to have to use another tool if you don't want to get the pro version just yet, like remove.bg to remove that white background. But you're going to click on download once you're done, and it'll download that file. I'm going to show you the differences. Here it is with the white background, and here it is with the transparent background, and here it is with the transparent background. So this, you see that it's print ready. It already has a transparent background, while this one has the white background that still needs to be removed. All right, so that is our overview of Canva.